Turn the lights on.
What up, what up? It's your girl, Mandy. Ew. And I'm back with another video. All right. And this time, we are going to be talking about the pros and cons to bariatric surgery. Because I know you want to know. I see the comments. You want to know. Let me just say this. Before we get in this video, though, remember to like, subscribe, share the video. Ain't gonna hurt nothing to share nothing. You know what I'm saying? Share the video. Somebody might be looking for this information and it's right here, so just share it with them. It ain't gonna hurt to share nothing. And make sure you hit that notification bell, bing, so you can be notified every time we post a video right here at Muscle and Marriage. And if you're new to the channel, welcome to the Double M Kingdom. We do mukbangs on this channel. We talk about marriage on this channel. We do story times about our marriage and experiences on this channel. We also play games sometimes on this channel. You know what I'm saying? So, thank you for joining us, and let's get into it. Well, I had bariatric surgery, for those who don't know, about almost a year ago. December 17th will make a year that I've had the surgery. And there are a lot of pros and cons to anything that you do. You know, especially when you're talking about your health and something as serious as weight loss surgery, you know, because that is, you know, even though that you go home within 48 hours of having the gastric sleeve, most people do, if they're able to walk around and they're able to, you know, use the bathroom and things like that, they'll usually send people home within the first, you know, 24 to 48 hours. I went home within 48 hours because I was in a lot of pain, but I did go home because that second day I did start walking around a lot and I was going to the bathroom and I was okay. So most people go home within 48 hours. The surgery is no longer than 45 minutes to an hour if there are no complications. That is a pro to me. It's really quick. By the time you wake up, you don't even realize you had the surgery. Some of the things that I didn't, you know, like, that I felt like, you know, could be a con is if you're not mentally ready for this surgery. And when I say mentally, you have to get your mindset out of the way you were eating before. I know you say, dang, Mandy, you say that, but you be doing these mukbangs. Yes, but we do a lot of seafood, and then a lot of things we eat on the channel. I eat one time a day, y'all. That's my only meal of the day. You know, I don't eat round the clock like that. I don't. And I don't have a desire to. The pro, we could say too, is that when they do the sleeve and they cut that percentage of your stomach off, because they're making your stomach small, something like a little small banana shape. A normal stomach holds 3 ounces of food. Your new stomach now holds 1 ounce of food, to give you some kind of, like, you know, mental note of what I'm talking about. Okay, wow, my stomach went from 3 ounces holding 3 ounces of food to now my stomach can only hold 1 ounce of food. Basically what it is. And yes, you can stretch your stomach back out over time if you are eating, if you're overeating, and if you are drinking a lot of acidic drinks. You know, those things can be detrimental to your progress. What else can I tell you? Everybody is different who have this surgery. Everybody's experience is different. Some people say they wish they never had it because of all the loose skin. But you can do plastics. You can do surgery to get the plastic surgery. I know some people say, oh, I can't afford the plastic surgery. So, you know, I really hate the fact that my skin is loose and it's droopy now. And I'm not only tucking my shirt in my pants, I'm tucking skin in my pants, you know. Fortunate for me, I have not had that problem. Yes, I do have a little loose skin around my arms or whatever, but I'm going to get that taken care of through surgery. My stomach is not as flat as I would want it, but, you know, after I lose all the weight I'm going to lose and, you know, I get down to a weight that I feel comfortable with, I will then go ahead and get plastics and get liposuction and get my skin tightened. I'm going to do those things because that's what I want to do. You know, you can't eat or drink the way you used to. It's just the way it is. You know, you can't. You really can't. And a lot of times mentally, we're still craving foods that we were eating before. We're still wanting to drink a lot of liquids. And my problem is I like to drink a lot of liquids. Keyz will tell you, I have to have my liquids. I have to have my fluids. You know, I do, because I just sometimes I be feeling like weak. That's another thing too I want to talk about, which is a con to me. I feel weak all the time. Like, I get overexerted easily. You know, like I have moments where I feel like I'm about to pass out because I'm not eating enough. I'm drinking fluids, but I'm not eating enough. I'm not getting any nutrition. And so when you get like that, you know, I started keeping protein shakes on me, because it is a learning curve. You don't know everything. Even when they give you all this paperwork and they tell you all these things to do, you have still been living a life for so many years prior to having this surgery. You're just not going to all of a sudden, because a doctor tell you, hey, make sure you do this, make sure you do that, make sure you do this, make sure you do that. You're not just going to automatically start doing all those things the way they tell you just because they tell you. Because the thing about it is, even though you're preparing for this surgery, you still have yet to have this surgery. So even while you're at home trying to lose weight on your own, you still have the appetite you had before. You still want to eat a little bit extra, even though you know you shouldn't. You know, you still have that battle and that struggle that you're struggling with to try to meet the criteria to get this surgery. Because some people have a criteria to meet. Some people have to join a weight loss program for 6 months just to have this surgery. You know, luckily for me, my husband's insurance covered it 100%. And all I had to do was weigh in every month and make sure that I either was staying the same weight or I wasn't gaining any weight, you know, and things like that. But I have had spells where I felt weak, dizzy, you know, like, man, am I going to pass out? You know, I felt like my legs were going to give out on me. You know what I'm saying? And then you're losing weight at a rapid pace. So that's another thing. You got to make sure you're getting your protein in, because you're losing weight at a rapid pace. And if you're not working out, you're going to be losing muscle mass, you know. And even if you're working out, you're going to still have some type of loose skin, especially if you're losing the weight rapidly. If you're losing it rapidly, yes. I was 296 pounds. I'm 5'5", and I was 296 pounds. And, man, I was always in pain. I was always hurting all the time, back hurting. You know, I didn't feel good. I mean, I just didn't have any confidence. I didn't feel good at that weight. I don't care how, you know, beautiful I tried to make myself look and feel. Deep down inside, I didn't feel good like that. I just didn't. Sorry, didn't feel good like that. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to have this surgery, because I was like, man, I'm working as a nurse and this is hard on my body. This is hard on me. And it was hard on me mentally at times, because it's like, I don't feel the way I look. There is somebody on the inside of me that is dying to get out. But because the way I look on the outside, I don't feel confident enough to present myself the way I really feel. I don't feel confident enough to go places. You know, it would even hurt my relationship in the beginning with Keyz, because Keyz will let me know how much he loved me, how he supported me no matter what. And, you know, I love you, woman, you juicy woman, or whatever. You know, I don't want you putting yourself down. I don't want you talking down on yourself, or, you know, treating yourself like that. You know, my husband will get on my case about that, because that will bother him. You know what I'm saying? Because he felt like he had a beautiful woman, but I didn't feel beautiful. You know, and it wasn't about him. It was about me. You know, I was battling with myself. And, you know, when I found out I could have this surgery, my doctor was encouraging it. He was like, you should do this. He was like, you know, you pay for it 100%. He was like, you know, start working on the criteria now. He said, and within a year, he said, you'll be able to have this surgery. Because I had to be on my husband's insurance plan for 2 years. And I think I mentioned that in a previous video. And, man, I met the criteria. I did everything I supposed to did. And, like I said, that was a pro, because it was like, I was not only learning about the bariatric surgery, I was not only going to the support groups where they was telling me about the different nutritional things that I would need to know, and nutritional, you know, meals and planning, and how to, you know, make sure that you're not putting yourself in a bad situation while you're at work or you're away from home. You know, making sure you have some type of protein bars on you, or protein shakes, making sure you have some calcium chewables and multivitamin chewables, things like that, because people who have bariatric surgery have a really, really hard time with vitamin deficiency, especially those who've had the bypass surgery, I believe, more so than anything, because they're not absorbing as much. With the gastric sleeve, they're just, reducing the size of your stomach. So it's a little different. And you do lose hair. Your hair will start shedding really bad. I have that problem now. So I have to make sure I take my vitamins, and I've been taking biotin, which has been helping strengthen my hair again. I mean, my hair ain't fall out like that. My hair is still long and it's still thick. But in certain spots, I could tell where it's like when I rub my hand through my real hair, like it sheds a little bit more than it used to shed. So I have started taking my vitamins and biotin and things like that, and making sure that I get my nutrition in, because I'm telling you, vitamin deficiency is really, really bad. Like, there was a girl in my support group, because in the support group, which is a pro, you get to learn about the surgery, and you get to go there every Thursday night. There are people there who've had the surgery, or people who are trying to have the surgery in the group. And so you learn from those who are struggling with, complications or learning curves with the surgery. And then basically you're a new person coming in who wants to have the surgery. So you're learning what not to do and, different things like that. And so, what I did like about the groups was that there was a girl in there. She was telling me about the vitamin deficiency and how important it was to take your vitamins, and how she didn't take that part serious. And I'm telling you, this lady literally had like a bald spot right here. And she was showing us, and she was like saying that's why, she wears wigs and things like that. And I was like, man, it kind of scared me a little bit, but I was kind of glad that, I was there to hear that, because I'm like, man, I got to make sure I get my vitamins in. And, some people were sitting there talking about the lack of support from their spouses, and, how people were jealous of the weight loss now. And they were going through a lot of things, and people trying to say they look sick and trying to break their spirit because they were still heavy set, and now they're mad you've gotten smaller. It was a lot of that stuff going on in the group, and they were talking about it. But what I love about this surgery is that I don't have a desire to eat as much anymore. Like I said, the hormone ghrelin is what you produce, which makes you hungry. Some of us produce too much of it, and we overeat every day. But with them cutting your stomach, it reduces that hormone as well. So you're not as hungry. You're not as hungry anymore. And like I said, sometimes I go one time a day eating, and I don't even realize I only ate one time a day. Or sometimes I haven't eaten at all, and I don't realize, like, oh, I need to eat something. Like, you really have to mentally remind yourself to eat, because it's very, very easy to forget, especially with the hormone being reduced, and with you being busy throughout the day and just doing stuff, you'll kind of forget. So like I said, loose skin could be a con, but hey, you can get that fixed with plastics. I mean, come on, I'm not gonna let the best decision in my life, which I feel is having this surgery. I'm not gonna let some loose skin stop me from, weight loss. I was 296 pounds. I went from 296. I am 175 today. I'm 175.8 today. Okay. I am almost to my goal. I want to be like 155, 160. I want to be that kind of weight, because that's kind of like slim, but it's not too skinny. You know what I mean? And with me being 5'5", that's a good weight for me. So I feel really good that I'm only 10 pounds away, 10 to 15 pounds away from my goal, And then if I get plastics, I'm going to lose even more weight. So I'll be maybe like 150 when they cut off the loose skin and things like that, So it's a blessing. It's a blessing. Like I said, my back doesn't hurt anymore. I'm not walking around the job, overexerted, out of breath all the time like I was before. Like, a lot has changed because I had this surgery. Yes, I can't eat as much. And yes, I should be eating and drinking 30 minutes apart. But hey, sometimes I just got to have me something to drink while I'm eating. Like I said, you can't do everything like they tell you. You're not going to, because mentally, there's some things you can't change. You've been living like this for 30-some years, 40-some years, 50-some years, and then all of a sudden you got to change everything about your life within 6 months to a year to have this surgery. And then you got to try to go home and figure it out. There are some people who truly, truly, truly struggle with the mental versus the physical of this surgery. And when I say that, it's like they have not yet mentally grasped the fact that they can't eat like that anymore. They're vomiting up food, because if you overeat, you're going to vomit it up. If you try to eat too soon, solid foods or anything like that, you're going to get sick. Grease and sweets, they don't agree with my stomach like that. Like I have to eat that stuff literally in minimal moderation. I don't do a lot of sugar. I don't do a lot of sweets. I don't do a lot of grease either, because I will literally have what they call dumping syndrome. It's like you just have diarrhea real bad. Like I can't eat that kind of stuff like that. Like I have to minimal. Honestly, because you eat too much grease or too many carbs and not enough vegetables and things like that, my stomach don't like it. I can feel that I'm going to throw up. I can feel that my stomach is churning like, oh, we don't like this. Like seafood, that's lean meat, so I can eat seafood, corn, mussels. My stomach is cool with all of that. I can eat vegetables. Oh, it's like my stomach, it's like I crave them. I love vegetables. I love them. I already loved vegetables before, but now that I've had this surgery, I eat a lot more vegetables than I do anything else. And sometimes it's not good because I don't get enough protein in. So I have to, do protein shakes and try to get some meat in, because if I eat meat, it tends to fill me up too fast. But like I said, when I do the seafood boils, I can eat that stuff. And I'm telling you, my stomach be fine. I be good. Like right now, I feel really, really good. Like all I had today was the corn. I had the king crab leg, and I had some mussels. I feel good. And I'm not hungry, and I'm not going to eat again today. You know what I'm saying? That's my one meal for the day. I might drink some water. You know, if I have this tea, I'm definitely going to drink me a liter of water. And that'll be it for me for the night. You know what I'm saying? And that's it. But another thing, too, is that with this surgery, let me give y'all some more pros and cons. Let's talk about it. Another thing is, too, with the gastric sleeve, you lose the weight a lot. You lose the weight fast, too. But you lose it at a slower pace versus somebody who had bypass surgery. A lot of people who've had the bypass surgery lose a lot of weight. They lose 80% of the excess weight. Somebody with gastric sleeve can lose between 60 to 80, but 40 to 50 is basically normal for you to lose 40 to 50% of your excess weight. So that's good. And so you don't have as much loose skin as somebody who had the bypass. I had a friend who had the bypass. She looks really good, but she does have a lot of loose skin. I chose to have the sleeve, and another reason I chose to have the sleeve was because I heard so many stories about the gas with bypass patients, of them, like some of them really have really bad gas, and they said they can't even handle the smell of it, so that was a concern for me. But they do say that it's a lot better for patients who have heartburn, that, it eliminate that. But I still didn't get it, even though I had an issue with heartburn. I had a hiatal hernia, which they repaired at the time of surgery, so that was good. And I just said, I'll take my Pepsi twice a day before my meal or whatever, and I've been good. I ain't been having a heartburn. I really haven't. I think I've had heartburn maybe 3 times since I had that surgery, and it's been almost a year. So that's not bad. That's not bad at all. That's not bad at all. With gastric sleeve, the complications are a lot less than the bypass. At least that's what my doctor told me. Like I said, I was in and out of surgery within 45 minutes. I mean, he had 10 of us scheduled that day. I mean, because that's how quick it was. Like the lady who was in the lady who was sitting in the support group with me, she was like 2 rooms down from me. And she was like, I want to go home like you. Because she saw me walking around. She knew I was getting ready to go home. And she's like, but I'm in so much pain. I said, girl, you better get walking. So I honestly would say that it's great benefits to having the surgery. There's less complications. Like I said, I had a great doctor who made sure I was well knowledgeable of what was going to happen. My doctor was so good. He even called me while I was at work and talked to me on the phone personally. Like he didn't have no nurse call me. He didn't have his coordinator call me. No, he called me and he spoke to me and he said, are you ready for this surgery? We're gonna be doing it on this day at this time. And I was like, yeah, I'm ready. And I took the time off from work, and I was gone from work for like 2.5, almost 3 weeks. And I went back to work, and people was like, dang, you only was out 3 weeks. Girl, I would have took the whole 2 months, but I didn't need 2 months. I felt good. That little flank pain I had, it went away in time, and I went back to work, and I took my protein shakes every day with me, and I make sure that even at work, I go on my lunch break and I eat, because I know that when I get home from work, I'm probably not going to eat, I'm probably not, it's rare that I eat anything, and if I do go on lunch break, I usually get a tea, and I might get something small like a kid's meal or a sandwich, because I still even have a hard time finishing all that. So sometimes I'll just get a tea on my lunch break. I won't even get any food, and I'll wait till I get home to eat, which is not good. Or I'll stop at a store and get me a protein shake and drink that, and then wait a while and then start drinking my tea. I have to do things like that because, like I said, I get full really fast. Even after being almost a year post-op, you know, come December the 18th, I'm sorry. Come December 18, 2018, to make 1 year, I still, you know, get full really, really fast. And my stomach still feels kind of tight, like I can't eat a lot. So I don't try to force it because I want to maintain my weight loss, and I want to maintain this for a long time. I don't want to let this go. And that's why it's so, I'm so grateful that my husband is into fitness. I'm so grateful that he's into working out. I'm so grateful that even if he see himself gain 10 pounds, he in the gym trying to get it off, and he's staying focused and not, you know, let himself get out of control. I love that because that motivates me to stay in control of my weight. My husband meal preps, you know, he'll go in there and cook us a nice dinner, make sure we have vegetables or meat. Because one thing about Keyz, he ain't eating no meal without no vegetables. He just ain't gonna do it. Like, we cooking a meat like a rib, or we cooking a chicken or something, we gonna have a vegetable, whether it be Brussels sprouts, broccoli, whether it be asparagus. We're gonna have some type of green vegetable. Kale, we're gonna have something. Even for breakfast, sometimes he'll do egg whites, kale, and he'll put like some turkey sausage or something with it or whatever, or turkey bacon or regular bacon. But we're gonna have some type of vegetable, and I love that about him, because the cons to this surgery, if you don't have a good support system with you, like your family, your boyfriend, your husband, your people, they not on board, you're going to have a hard time. You're going to have a hard time because it is bad. I remember one lady in my support group, I remember her family had went out to eat the first week she got home after having the surgery, and she had the duodenal switch. That's a whole lot going on. That's even further past the bypass. You got the gastric sleeve, the bypass, the duodenal switch. Those are three they basically advertise at my doctor's office. And on the duodenal switch, is a lot going on there, honey. The DS, they call it the DS. And she said they went to go get something to eat, and she was with the family. She couldn't eat nothing, of course. She said she just cried so hard because she felt like so left out. And you will feel left out. You know, people are eating things you can't eat. You can't eat as much. You know, you be all ready to enjoy that food, and you be happy, and you get there and you maybe take 2-3 bites and you done. And you like a waste. And I don't like wasting no money, and I don't like wasting food. I don't. So my husband eat up anything, everything that I don't finish. He does. And so that's the good thing about when we go out to eat and stuff like that. Like, I'll make sure that I order something small. Just something that I can probably eat. And if I can't eat it all, I'll put it on his plate and he'll finish it up for me. But we try to order small because even Keyz, he tries to maintain his weight and keep his weight down. You know, he's 41 years old, but like he said, when I turn 50, I want to still be looking just as good as I look right now, and I want to make sure that my health and I'm in the best health I can possibly be by taking good care of myself. And that's true. You know, this is your temple, this is your body. You know, why would you not want to have this surgery if it can help you lose over 100 pounds and feel better about yourself, and, you know, lower some of the risk for heart disease and diabetes. And, you know, women, we are the #1 people at risk for heart disease and things like that. And I'm talking about just with having this surgery, so many people have lowered their risk, you know, just with the weight loss alone. A lot of times we're at risk just because of our weight. So if we lose the weight, imagine just how many great benefits we have. You can come off blood pressure medications. One lady said she was taking 50 meds. She told us this in the group. She was taking 50 meds a day for all kind of stuff she had going on. She had this surgery, and she didn't lose as much weight as, you know, me or other people. She's an older lady. She lost over 50 pounds, though. And guess what? She's off more than half those meds. I think she's taking like maybe 3 pills a day now. I mean, that's amazing that surgery did that. So that's a pro. That's something good, because you come off these medications and stuff like that, and you could actually be a lot better off. I mean, why would you not want that? That's why I try not to discourage people from the surgery. I try to tell people, do your research. I did my research. I made sure that, you know, I knew what my BMI was, which is, you know, basically if you are a certain weight, look up your BMI. Your Hold on, y'all. I'm trying to look it up. Make sure you know what your BMI is, your body mass index. Basically, you put in your height, you can put in your weight. They have all kind of apps on your phone, and it'll tell you what it is. Like, I'm gonna do it right now on this app. Okay, my weight 170, 175. My height 5'5", and it says I'm overweight. It says I'm overweight. It says my BMI is 29.1 because I'm 175 pounds and I'm 5'5". Now, according to these standards, you know, because standards are really, really, really bad, y'all, based on the old charts of how somebody should be, how much they should weigh and all this kind of stuff. Overall, I'm in good health when I go to the doctor, but my BMI, according to this website, says I'm 29.1. That's like 30. That's almost like a 30 on the BMI scale. And it says I'm still overweight. But that's okay because I'm 175 and I'm constantly coming down. So I'll be in the 24s and 25s, you know, in the next, because in 18 months, that's the time span you have to give yourself to lose all the weight you're going to lose. 18 months at least to know exactly where you're going to land. In 18 months, you will know exactly where your weight is kind of like going to stabilize and everything goes. So that's a good thing. You know, I have all 2019 and continue to lose weight and continue to, you know, work out and work on myself and make sure I'm getting my protein in and things like that. And I feel good at 175. I really do. I look good. I feel good. You know, I'm happy. And yeah, I wouldn't change anything. I feel like I had more pros than cons of this surgery. And I do see people in the comments tell me they are having complications with the surgery. And like I said, I do know people who have had complications with the surgery. You know, I know some people who have stretched their stomach back out. They've already gained all the weight back. I know some people who are, you know, strict about their regimen. They eat one time a day and they drink 2 protein shakes a day. They have a protein shake for breakfast. They have one for dinner. And they have a lunchtime. They have a meal at lunch and they're good for the whole day. And that works. It does work. Sometimes I do that. I have one protein shake in the morning. I have lunch and I might drink a protein shake when I get home and some water. Or I may not have a protein shake. I might just brush my teeth, take a shower and go to bed. You know, that's just me. But yeah, I definitely try to watch what I eat, and I'm very conscious of what I'm eating. You know, when me and hubby do these mukbangs, I'm very conscious of what's going on because I'm not going to sabotage my progress. I've come too far, and I've got so many other things I want to do. And with this weight loss, it's gonna allow me the opportunity to do the things I want to do. So I would tell anybody who's considering this surgery, don't just count it all the way out. Do your research. I researched this surgery for 3 years before I had it. For 3 years, I researched about this surgery and didn't even know my husband's insurance covered it. You know what I'm saying? And when I found out it did, it was a blessing. It was a blessing. And that's why I say, you know, sometimes you don't know how God's gonna do things, but if you keep putting it in your mind, you keep thinking about it, researching about it. I kept doing all the footwork like I was going to have the surgery to the point where I spoke it into existence. You get what I'm saying? I hope this video has been helpful. If there is anything you want to know about bariatric surgery, I did make a video on it. You know, let's talk gastric sleeve. Make sure you watch that video.